Of all the quests I've ever undertaken to improve my miniature painting, the pursuit of a better black has often been elusive, frustrating, and at times just straight up defeating. It's not so much the choice of paint. I'm a matte painter, so I accept that my blacks just look less black than those of people who paint with satin paint. That's just a property of the paint itself. But the process of working black up can often be a huge barrier to surmount for many painters, and the process of building my confidence in tackling it was definitely something earned in inches, not miles. And it's with this in mind that I wanted to compile a little collection of some of my favourite tips for handling black, and I wanted to apply them to a situation where it would really matter so that you could see just how useful they are. So I'm going to demonstrate a few things that I've picked up over the years using this NA2 Ninja from Infinity. The model has a bodysuit that I want to be black, as well as straps, pouches and weapon components that I also want to be black. The key points here are going to be in understanding variation and subtlety, as well as a little nod to volumetric highlighting and the role it plays in painting black. In fact, let's start with that last point, volumetric highlighting. When we paint with black over a smaller or a busier surface, it's important to make sure our highlights don't overpower the space, making it read as a different colour. However, when we have a big, broad, open space, such as, say, the entire bodysuit of a ninja, it becomes really quite critical to first lay in some subtle volumes, or our black ends up just looking really flat. In the case of my ninja here, I'm going with neutral grey highlighting, which is absolutely something not to be shied away from. We're often told that we should always highlight our blacks with blues or other tint colours to provide more visual interest, but without a neutral point of reference, I don't think this technique stands out as much as it can. Conversely, when I reach the bow and pistol here, tinting my highlight with teal becomes far more useful. I'm sticking with a simple edge highlight for this because, again, subtlety. I don't want to wipe out that black by laying in sweeping volumes across what few small flat surfaces I have available. So not only does this approach let my teal tint subtly play a role, but it also gives me a nice contrast point against the reds that I'm bringing in as the accent colour. And you can see this here, where once the bow is fully highlighted up, the teal really pops out and provides a ton of contrast, even though the main colour of the volume is still black. When we get to the strapping, I now want to introduce another subtle warm tone to help balance things out. This time I'm going to deliberately pull my black towards a pale beige or a tan, that kind of tone with the highlights specifically. The plan here is to make something that looks like dyed leather, where the areas that are fraying and being roughed up through wear and tear will start to show that original pale tan colour, but the majority of the space still reads as black. This is mostly a process of little micro dots and dashes at the end, where texture is important to creating the effect, but keeping it controlled and subtle really matters for not spoiling the overall feel of black. Whilst we're deliberately pushing away from a true black in this case, we still need to have enough present to give the effect. And when all is said and done, we have a miniature with several different approaches to the same colour, where none look alike but all clearly read as sharing that mother tone of black. So to sum up what I help think build a better black, it's really just 3 points. Subtlety. Use edge highlights and fine texturing on smaller volumes so as to not overpower them. Variety. Tone your blacks according to the colours they're sitting with, and don't be afraid of neutral blacks. Volume. Don't shy away from volumetric highlighting on larger black volumes. The same issue of overpowering the readability as black is massively reduced on large volumes, and instead the approach makes them look far less flat. And with those 3 weapons in hand, I honestly think that tackling black can be far less of a problem. Not only that, but I think by applying this and becoming more comfortable with black, it ends up becoming one of the more fun colours to paint. The restrictions in trying to keep it looking black or looking mostly black make for a really fun mental challenge, and I really enjoyed that when I'm working on something for the 20th time. So folks, I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on black, and I really hope you'll get some use out of these techniques. Feel free to drop a comment below if there are any other colours or techniques that you'd like to see a bit of a focused dive on, much like we've done in this video. Also, don't forget to pop this video a like and to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications if you want to make sure that you don't miss any videos. Finally, you will also find a bunch of links in the description for some additional ways that you can support the channel if that's a thing that you'd like to do. I'll be back soon with more hobby content, but until then, thanks for watching folks, and happy hobbying. I will see you in the next one, so bye bye for now.